Yeah, sure. So, um, the when I grew up, I was spending my summers pushing a lawnmower around and digging ditches, working for my father's business, which was a golf course irrigation and construction company. And every single time I lamented the heat. I mean, the Florida sun is no joke. Summertime, it's not super fun. So I have a pretty strong respect for landscaping. And one thing that's always kind of stuck with me, just about the industry and the people that I've met over the last couple of years in particular, is the work ethic that goes into the industry. It's one of these things where it's pretty rare. I've built a lot of different businesses over the last 17 or so years, and in different industries every time. What I find really refreshing about the landscaping industry is it's just really good people, hardworking, honest, ethical, and very much just trying to like build a business and take care of people. And ultimately, any business, it kind of just comes down to adding value, right? And so people going out and saying, "Hey, can I add value for you?" Just like I was doing as a teenager, walking around the neighborhood saying, "Hey, can I mow your lawn for you?" Or "Can I take care of your bushes for you?" Or whatever it is. It goes back to that like core principle of basic economics, which is add value, generate value, collect value, right? So my short background story is just that grew up with that scenario in mind. Started working for the family company when I was about 18. Started to do GPS as builts for golf courses as we started putting them together. So I'd walk around with a GPS backpack and just hit each head and walk around. And very nascent technology at the time. It's come a long way since then. But it was one of those big value adds, right? It's like the golf course is like, I need to know where the sprinkler heads are. I need to know how the pipes are laid, where things are going so I can service it all, and trying to give them better value. Just say, well, I can get it more precise than just the back of the napkin drawings that we'd all do, like before GPS. So I went into the Navy after kind of realizing that I didn't want to take over my family's business. Spent about 4 years doing that. And then after the Navy, just got out, started focusing on what kind of businesses would be possible to start, and started working on an undergrad in chemistry. So I'd finished my associates during the Navy, finished the undergrad in chemistry afterwards, started my master's, and then I had an opportunity to take a company that I was building at the time, which was a like messaging service. So the idea there was just that I saw a ton of food service businesses and movie theaters, anybody that had a perishable item, trying to go and bridge the gap in supply and demand. Just say, well, if there's an empty table at a restaurant or there's an empty seat at a movie theater, if somebody was able to, get a discount there, they might be able to fill one of or both of those, right? And so building a text message system to do that. Ended up taking the company public through a reverse merger acquisition back in 2010. I've kind of just been building companies ever since. So never finished my master's. My advisor said, I think you're going to be just fine. You don't need the master's. Get out of my lab. And I think that at the time I was a little upset by it. I wanted to finish and say, yeah, I've got my master's in chemistry, and that never quite happened, but lessons learned along the way. And I've been looking at technology businesses ever since. I've been building brick and mortar companies, tech companies, bouncing back and forth. One might be a little more aspirational than another, and then you kind of realize, well, I need this one to pay. I need this one to make money definitively. It needs to make a profit so that I can survive. And then you go back and forth, and next thing you know, half a dozen companies later, an old co-founder calls you up and says, "Hey, you interested in building robots?" And I'm like, hell yeah. And here we are.